Good morning, Robert. Happy Friday. Getting excited for the nice, fun celebration this weekend. I hope you get to see some awesome fireworks because I know you love them on your iPad. I'm sure you're going to love them more in person. It's going to be nice enough. Let's get started with your Go Noodle Flow, buddy. Jumping in for the last day of the week.
Melting, melting, melting. We all have those moments when we freeze. We can't move. We can't think. But with practice, we can get good at melting that frozen feeling. Let's freeze up and then melt. Stand up in a spot with a little space around you. Cross your arms and hold your shoulders with your hands. Carefully tuck your chin down and in. Tighten as many muscles in your body as you can. Let your body be frozen, like an ice statue. Feet tight, legs tense, belly tight, shoulders up. Now, even make a frozen face. Close your eyes, your mouth, your jaw, tight. Feeling frozen? Really still? Now, little by little, begin to melt. Let your chin stay low as your face softens and melts. Your jaw opens slightly, your eyes blink open, just a little. Your mouth and cheeks melt and feel soft. You're melting. Let your shoulders melt and go down. Hands let go. Arms glide down to your sides, melting. Let your legs melt too. Soften and bend. Melt. Try to melt all the way to the floor. Down, down, down. Let yourself be a blob, a puddle on the floor. Melted all the way to soft. Exhale long. Once frozen and tight, and now melted, a little more at ease. Let's do it again. This time, choose your own frozen statue. Be creative. Freeze your arms. Freeze your legs. Freeze your face. Make a funny face if you'd like. Freeze there. Tighten. Freeze, freeze, freeze. You're frozen. Close your eyes or keep them open. Stay frozen for just one more moment. Ready to melt? One icy part of you at a time begins to melt. Face, eyes, jaw, head, chin goes down, shoulders drop, fingers soften and droop, hands too, arms float down. You are melting. Let your legs allow you to melt down to the floor. Melt, 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 droop, settle, and rest. Melted. Try to feel at ease here. Soft. Check in on your body. Is any area still frozen? Notice that tightness. Melt it if you wish. Rest here. Breathe. Eyes are open or closed. Next time you feel frozen, in your mind or in your body, try to melt it away.
Awesome. Very, very good. I hope you like that Go Noodle Flow. I know it always gets you started for school and makes you feel ready to get started. Let's just keep rocking and rolling here. Hold on one second. And start to do our letters and our numbers, buddy. Here we go. Alrighty, let's get started with our numbers. My favorite, I think this might be my new favorite slide because we get to talk about there being only one Robert Bursey. He has one heart, you can see here, one nose, and one mouth. There is only one Robert Bursey. One. Whoop. One. Jump over to the number 2. Robert, you have 2 eyeballs, 2 ears for listening, 2 lungs for breathing. So we have 1 and 2, and you can see the eyes, the ears, and the lungs. The number 3. We've got all those silly aliens on there because nothing on a human has 3, but all these aliens have lots of different silly things like 6 eyes, or 1 eyeball, or 3 eyeballs, or 6 hands. The number 3. 1, 2, 3. I like to think of 3 as like our silly number. Number 4, that's when we take our 1, 2 hands and our 3, 4 feet and put them together to get the number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4. Hands and feet. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And the last one, because we get to give a high 5, the number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, high 5. Excellent. Let's go on to do our letters. I like the way these sound because I love your name. We said in the last slide there was only one Robert Bursey, and that's true. That's you. So we have the R, the R for Robert. We have A for Albert. We have the Bert. Bert. Next up, we have the E and the R that come together to make Rob, T, Robert. 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 That is you, sir. That's Robert, our favorite guy. Let's start listening to when the band comes marching in.
Oh, when the drum comes marching in. Oh, when the drum comes marching in. It goes. When the drum comes marching in. Oh, when the tuba comes marching in. Oh, when the tuba comes marching in. It goes. When the tuba comes marching in. Oh, when the trumpet comes marching in. Oh, when the trumpet comes marching in. It goes. When the trumpet comes marching in. Oh, when the trombone comes marching in. Oh, when the trombone comes marching in. It goes. When the trombone comes marching in. Oh, when the clarinet comes marching in. Oh, when the clarinet comes marching in. It goes. When the clarinet comes marching in. Oh, when the flute comes marching in. Oh, when the flute comes marching in. It goes. When the flute comes marching in. Oh, when the cymbal comes marching in. Oh, when the cymbal comes marching in. It goes. When the cymbal comes marching in. Oh, when the band comes marching in. Oh, when the band comes marching in. It goes. When the band comes marching in. When the band comes marching
Our absolute favorite song.
Whoa,
Oh.
adapted mind math.
Hold on.
Come explore the site with me.
Okay.
I'm in
The
first
next thing
grade,
we're gonna
so
do,
open.
sorry about that. The next thing we're gonna do is listen to a story. So the instrument today is the banjo, which is a kind of a guitar, which you're gonna listen to it in a minute. But the story I have for you, the actual name of the story is called Banjo and Ruby Red. And in this story, Banjo is a dog, not an instrument, but it's just a very sweet story. So I'm gonna have you listen to Banjo and Ruby Red, and then you're gonna click the link below to listen to some banjo music that I think you're gonna like. Here we go.
Hello, and welcome to Opa's Corner. Today's story is called Banjo and Ruby Red, and it's by Libby Gleason and illustrated by Freya Blackwood. And this was a short-listed book for the Children's Book Council of Australia. And it's about the dog, Banjo, and the chook, Ruby Red, and how they get on. Let's find out. Banjo and Ruby Red by Libby Gleason and Freya Blackwood. And this is a short-listed book from the Children's Book Council of Australia. This is for Gary, who told me this story, LG. For my very special friend, Jen Anderson, FB. Old Banjo is the best chook dog we've ever had. Whistles and yells. Go, Banjo, go! Bark, bark, bark! Bark, bark, bark! Squawk, squawk! Chooks fly up from the grass, down from the trees, and out from the shed. Bark, 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 bark! Squawk, squawk, bark! Except Ruby Red. She sits on top of the wood heap and stares. Bark, bark, bark! Squawk, squawk, squawk! Chooks fly into the yard, peck at the ground, and settle on their roosts. Except Ruby Red. Around the wood heap goes Banjo. Bark, bark, bark! Ruby Red ruffles her feathers. Bark, 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 bark! Ruby Red stretches her neck and stares at the sky. Bark, bark, bark! Banjo leaps, logs tumble, sticks fly. Ruby Red rises up, 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 and then down into the chook shed, onto her perch. But one day, as Banjo is rounding up the chooks, no Ruby Red, no chook up on the wood heap, ruffling her feathers and staring at the sky. Banjo slides on his belly. He sniffs the long grass. No Ruby Red. He snuffles around the shed door. No Ruby Red. He even goes through the lambing yard and under the wool shed. And there he finds her, lying still, her feathers flat, her eyes closed. He takes her in his mouth and carries her to his kennel. He places her inside, and then he lies down, wrapping his body around her, close and warm. For 2 days she stays there, and Banjo watches over her. On the 3rd day, she lifts her head and peers out of the kennel. On the 4th day, she stands up and pecks at some seeds. On the 5th day, she scratches at the ground and goes as far as the fence. Today, it's my job to shut up the chooks. I whistle and yell, "Go, Banjo, go! Bark, 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 bark! Squawk, 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 squawk!" Chooks fly up from the grass, down from the trees, and out of the shed. Except Ruby Red. Bark, bark, squawk, squawk, squawk! Chooks fly into the yard, peck at the ground, and settle on their roosts. Except Ruby Red. Well, wasn't Ruby Red an independent chook? But then wasn't Banjo a wonderful friend in the end?
What a great story. I really enjoyed it. I like Banjo and Ruby Red. I liked all the noises that he made with the squawk, squawk, squawk. I thought they sounded pretty cool. I hope you have a really good 4th of July weekend, Robert. I hope you get to spend lots of time with your family and see some fireworks. I will see you next week. Bye, buddy.